loving and compassionate, unassuming and ever blissful. Swami Tejomayananda is the divine life line of the Chinmay mission, popularly called as Guruji by his numerous devotees and disciples. Swami Tejomayananda is a living embodiment of supreme devotion to the Lord and unto his Guru, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, beautifully authored by Swami Abhedananda as an offering to Puja Guruji. This book is a lucid and poignant elucidation of the depth and dedication that expresses through a great master's glorious personality. Swami Tejomayananda, Divinity personified, a book written by Swami Abhedananda Tejomayananda Saraswati, is one of the most renowned and dynamic torchbearers of Sanatana Dharma in the world today. He has been the soul of Chinmay mission and is the manifestation of Puja Gurudev in Gurudev's compassionate love for all of us. As a humble expression of deep gratitude unto Puja Guruji on this auspicious 75th birthday, Chinmay Mission of South Africa is pleased to release the second edition of this book titled Swami Tejomayananda, Divinity Personified, initially released in 2007 during Guruji's first visit to South Africa after Swami Abhedananda's posting in 2006. The first edition of this book presented a concise overview of Guruji's early life and virtuous personality. The second edition commemorates Puja Guruji's 75th birthday on 30th June 2025. It includes a new section which deeply explores Guruji's majestic contributions as the global head of Chinmay mission and expounds upon his godly persona that shines through his works, achievements, and unparalleled renunciation. We thank the author of this book and our resident in charge, Swami Abhedananda Saraswati, for his immaculate, insightful, and heartening depiction through which he has brought out the divine and gracious personality of Puja Guruji to illuminate the lives of devotees across the globe. We also invoke the grace of the Lord upon Sri Satish Punjabi and Srimati Karishma Punjabi for graciously sponsoring the printing of this exquisite book. May this book inspire all readers and fill their hearts with the love and glory of Swami Tejomayananda. May Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's grace and blessings be upon all. When one comes to deserve a master, he shall reach him to guide, to help, and to enlighten, said Param Puja Guruji, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Contents: Swami Tejomayananda, early life and inspiration, the birth of a saint, the call from within, marching ahead, time to take charge. His Swabhava epitome of saintliness, our beloved Guruji, multifaceted personality, divine compassion, firm in conviction, calmness in crisis, simple living and high thinking, simple living and high thinking, humility and self discipline, a purifying presence. Not in his shoes but at his feet, glorious vision and mission. Puja Guruji, embodiment of Guru Seva, preserving his legacy, fulfilling his dreams. Chinmay Vibhuti, manifestation of Guru Bhakti. Swami Tejomayananda blesses South Africa. Mahatma with Midas touch. The great renunciate, not stepped down, but stepped up. त्यागे नैक अमृतत्वम आनशुः, igniting new flames of ochre, sparks of the divine, making our lives tejomaya, enlivening Shastra, Sanskrit and Sangeet. Shri Ramcharitmanas, Guruji's spiritual magnum opus. 75 years of Swami Tejomayananda, celebrating the greatest Chinmaya torch bearer. ईश्वरानुग्रहादेवं प्रसादेन भोस्तथा किं न साध्यं मया लोके निश्चिन्तो हमतोऽधुना. By the grace of the Lord and my teacher, what is there in this world that cannot be accomplished by me? Hence, I am now free from all anxieties. Section 1. His Swabhav, early life and divine qualities of Swami Tejomayananda. Divinity personified, first edition 2007. A life of divine inspiration. In a single wink of his eye, he can produce 1,000 Vivekanandas. This was the reply given by Swami Vivekananda when he was asked to speak about the greatness of his Guru, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So true it is of all the great masters like our own Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. In a short span of 42 years, he has created this huge army of spiritual stalwarts and missionary pillars who, by their sheer brilliance and deep thinking, are carrying the flag of Chinmay mission to every nook and corner of the globe. And leading this strong brigade of seers is Gurudev's chosen and extremely disciple Swami Tejomayananda. The birth of a saint, the middle class, religious and humble Maharashtrian family of Sadashiv Kaitwade and Parvati was blessed with a baby boy on 30th June 1950. Born in the small town of Khargone in Madhya Pradesh, state of India, Sudhakar, Swami Tejomayananda's birth name, was a very religious and simple boy from the early days of his Muskar into the life and writing of Samartha Guru Ramadas Swami was the call of his own inner voice to the Vivek Chudamani camp at Uttar Kashi. As the ardent disciple of Swami Tapovan Maharaj, Pujya Gurudev was an equally strict master. Swami Tejomayananda still remembers how Gurudev would shoot questions at him in the middle of the class just to test his attentiveness. Sudhakar never failed, and Gurudev was ever impressed with the growing sparkle in his young disciple. As time passed, Gurudev taught every little thing to Sudhakar, just as a loving father teaches his beloved son. If he spoke softly, Gurudev would tell him to go on the banks of the Ganga and speak loudly so that even the man on the other side could hear it. As Swami Tejomayananda once said, Gurudev even taught me how to pack my travel bag. I have learnt so much because of him. Brilliant as he was, Sudhakar used to even take Sanskrit classes for his batchmates. One of his Vedanta course acharyas even complimented, he is so intelligent that he can himself fulfill the role of the acharya. In retrospection, so true are those words as of today. Gurudev's global tours and his ill health led to the discontinuation of a full-time guided course for Sudhakar, but he used this time for his self-study. At the end of 5 years, he graduated as Brahmachari Vivek Chaitanya, a name Vivekananda that had inspired him so much during his college days. In 1975, he was posted at Bhopal, where his tenure was for only 8 months. His very first Jnana was in Bhopal, where he spoke on the Ishavasya Upanishad and chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. Many a times, the teachers who had taught him in his university days were found sitting in his discourse. Subsequently, he was posted at Kanpur for around 4 years, where he did glorious work. Marching ahead, in the following years, Brahmachari Viveka Chaitanya began his literary contributions through Hindi commentaries on Drugdrishya Vivek and Upadeshasar in compositions. He has composed over 50 composed tune music. On 21st October 1983, Pujya Gurudev initiated Brahmachari Vivek Chaitanya into sannyas. Swami in San Jose, California, for 4 years as head of Chinmay Mission West. He continued to serve and spread the mission's activities through his ongoing talks, discourses, and Jnana Yajnas in all major cities of USA. Time to take charge. During the last camp at Washington DC in July 1993, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda took Swami Tejomayananda in his room and told him, "You will now have to go to India and take up the organizational work, and you will have to go to every mission center. There will be some problems or difficulties which you will have to solve, but you don't worry. They all come as God's will, and God will take care of them." During a Chinmay Mission West CMW board meeting in New Jersey, Swami Chinmayananda made Swami Tejomayananda sit next to him, saying, "Let them see that we are one." While Swami Tejomayananda was in USA, Pujya Gurudev had come to Indore for a Jnana Yajna in March 1993, which sadly comes to be his last visit to Indore. In spite of his ailing health, Gurudev made it a point to drive down and pay his respects to the old mother of Swami Tejomayananda, who was so anxious to have Gurudev's darshan. When she inquired about the return of Swamiji from San Jose, Gurudev said, Amma, he will come back in August. And when she asked when Gurudev would visit next, he said, let us see what happens in the next 4 months. Gurudev was a realized master who knew well in advance that the time to leave his mortal coil was nearing. So true was Gurudev's prophecy that Swami Tejomayananda had to return to India under the most unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances when Gurudev attained Mahasamadhi. After Gurudev's Mahasamadhi on 3rd August 1993, Swamiji also lost his mother on 8th October in the same year. He had to hold himself in this state of deep shock and despair, having lost the two pillars of his life in quick succession. An apt and able successor to Gurudev, the CCMT Board of Trustees appointed Swami Tejomayananda as the head of Chinmay Mission Worldwide on 22nd August 1993. When he was asked about how he felt on the new responsibility, he politely said, I consider it a great honor to be chosen to carry the torch of Swami Chinmayanandaji's vision for Hinduism in my own humble ways. Another journalist asked him, how does he feel? How does it feel like to be in Swami Chinmayananda's shoes? Swamiji humbly replied, I am not in his shoes, I am only at his feet. A glorious life of saintliness. Humanity is fortunate to experience the saintliness of Puja Guruji, to bathe in his nectarine discourses and learn from him the subtle art of living a devoted and dedicated life. His life is a glowing example of how one can become a very powerful instrument of the Lord simply by holding on to the feet of the Guru, our beloved Guruji. The Lord alone manifests himself in the form of saints who are nothing but an ever blissful expression of the Lord's own vibhuti in this ephemeral world of sorrows. Through a saint, the Lord effortlessly expresses his own swarupa, essential self, swabhava, nature, and guna qualities. Swami Abhedananda Saraswati used to say that a Mahatma saint is the pragmatic form of Paramatma and Brahman is the essential nature of a saint. Viveka Chudamani, verse 37 says, Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Santo Vasantavallokahitam Charantaha. There are peaceful and magnanimous saints who live like the spring season for the good of humanity. Our Puja Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda, is the personification of this splendid glory of the Lord, expressing the same immutable godliness and divinity in many spectacular ways. Blessed are those devotees and disciples who have learned from this revered master of the present age and who continue serving and loving him each day. Of course, most blessed are those who have identified with Guruji's life principles and who are selflessly serving his mission of fulfilling Puja Gurudev's vision. It is said in the Ramcharitmanas that just as the mosquito cannot measure the infinite vastness of space, similarly, with our limited intellect, we can never comprehend the unfathomable depth of a saint's life, the profundity of his nectarine words, and the selflessness of his all encompassing love. Nonetheless, just to purify our mind and invoke the grace of the Lord, we shall try to reflect on our beloved Guruji's life and teachings. To surrender to a Mahatma, requesting him to save us from our misunderstandings, delusions, is to assure for ourselves true liberation, almost a luxury li- liner to truth, said Param Puja Gurudev Swami Tejomayananda. Multifaceted personality. In Vedanta, the Supreme Brahman is described as Vivruddha, Dharma, Adhishthana, substratum supporting opposite qualities, and Sarva Dharma Adhishthana, substratum for all qualities, and yet Brahman is Dharmatita, Viruddha Dharma Adhishthana, substratum supporting opposite qualities, Sarvadharma Adhishthana, substratum for all qualities, and yet Brahman is Dharmatita, beyond all dharmas. In our Pujya Guruji, we find all the three aspects of Brahman. He is endowed with qualities that are entirely diverse, but he is also ever equipoised, not carried away by any of the merits that adorn him. He is the Brahma Tattva of Pujya Swami. This is the Brahma Tattva of Pujya Swami Tejomayananda. At one moment, he is at the speechless heights of subtle Vedantic philosophy, while at the very next moment, he sweetly sits with his harmonium and sings the most captivating bhajans filled with devotion. He may be discussing a serious issue with some mission members, but the very next moment he can be seen playing with a child and enjoying it fully. He reprimands someone sternly for a mistake committed, and a little later hugs that person, brimming with love and gentle affection. Sometimes he remains very quiet for a long time, but upon sensing the seriousness around, cracks a hilarious joke immediately, sending everyone into splits of laughter. Puja Guruji is indeed the amalgamation of several beautiful personalities. Only a very rare being could be gifted with such a wide spectrum of divine traits. His greatness is rooted in his very saintly nature, with an overflowing devotion for his Ishta, Lord Rama, and absolute surrender to his Guru, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. An astute scholar, a brilliant disciple, an exemplary teacher, a spontaneous composer, an impeccable writer, an able administrator, a melodious singer, a deep thinker, a divine speaker, a dedicated son, a perfect devotee, with many other attributes that defy description. This living master epitomes the supreme truth in thought, word, and deed. The greater the teacher and the firmer his realization, the easier it is for him to come down and move shoulder to shoulder with his students in a spirit of easy camaraderie and friendship. Swami Chinmayananda. Divine compassion. What characterizes a saintly heart is the overflowing love and compassion for the beings and people around. The Ramcharitmanas says, Sant Hridaya Navanita Samana कहाँ कभी न परी कहीं न जाना, निज परिताप द्रवई नवनीता, पर दुख द्रवहि संत सुपुनीता. Some say that the heart of a saint can be compared to butter, but they fall short in their comparison, and the simile is not really perfect. Butter melts only when heated, but the heart of a saint melts simply by seeing the heat or pain of others. What is so amazing about Pujo Guruji is his unbounded love for everyone. Once in the year 1995, I had the opportunity to accompany him to Ujjain, where he went to meet the family of his departed sister of his Purvashram. It was heartbreaking to see tears continuously trickling down Guruji's eyes as he was consoling everyone in the family. But as soon as he left the place, he regained his own pristine cheerfulness and inner poise. Once Swami Abhedananda visited Sandipani Sadhanalaya in Powai. Enormous preparations were made to welcome him at the Saraswati Nilayam. As Puja Guruji accompanied him towards the hall, we saw a dog sitting at the very entrance, where the brahmacharis were to offer the formal welcome. We were making frantic efforts to chase that dog away, when Puja Guruji shouted from a distance, "Usko वहीं रहने दो, मत हटाओ वहाँ से. Let that dog remain there. Don't disturb him." We were moved to see Guruji's compassion for an animal, even at such a juncture. Once I told him how someone was disturbing me incessantly, and he replied, "Relax, I will handle him." That reply became deeply etched in my heart. Since then, simply by remembering his swabhava of causeless acceptance and love, I feel my life becoming much simpler and easier. Firm in conviction, describing the minds of great people, it is said, "Vajradapi kathorani mruduni kusumadapि lokottaranam chetansi kaschet vijñātum arhati." Who can delve into the minds of great people, which are harder than the thunderbolt and softer than flowers? It is noteworthy that with such a loving and gentle heart, Puja Guruji also has unflinching firmness and steadfast resolution in his life. This determination is revealed very vividly in his thoughts, actions, and decisions. Even in his daily routines, like controlled eating, simple and straightforward conversation, astonishing punctuality, and regular exercising, his resolute nature is clearly seen. When a reputed nutritionist convinced him about the ill effects of drinking milk, he immediately kept his glass of milk aside and for good. One virtue which is worth emulation for all seekers is Guruji's tremendous courage in transforming his convictions into actions. His life is a living monument of sensitivity, chastity, and integrity. At one of the railway stations, when he was received with great pomp, he looked quietly towards me and said with perfect dispassion, "You know, all these receptions are mere deceptions. After the completion of one of the Vedanta courses, someone wanted to don yellow robes and desired Brahmacharya Diksha from Guruji. See the negative response of Guruji. That seeker wept for hours in his room, but Guruji was firm and unmoved. He said lovingly to that seeker, your time will come later on. Calmness increases. Once Guruji's yajna was organized in an open ground in Jaipur, and while the discourse was going on, a TV cameraman went on the stage for video recording. All of a sudden, the wires got entangled somewhere, and all the pictures, lamp, and altar came tumbling down with a big crash. Everyone was aghast at the apparent inauspiciousness, but Guruji did not utter a single word. Instead, he started chanting melodiously, Shri Krishna Saranam Mama. When the flaws in a seeker surface, Guruji assumes his impatience for a while, but he remains unfazed and calm when faced with unpredictable situations in life. In Indore, during the consecration ceremony of the Chinmay Sharanam temple, the Murti Sthapana installation of the Lord's statue was in progress at the given time when it was found that Bhagavan Shri Krishna's idol did not fit into the niche prepared for it. The mason was immediately summoned, and it took more than an hour to get the alterations made. Guruji stood near the altar all the while, absolutely quiet. After the program was over, tears rolled down his cheeks and he said, हम लोगों ने भगवान को कितनी देर तक खड़ा रखा. We made the Lord wait for so long. From mid 2005 to early 2007, Puja Guruji went through serious health problems while he was stationed in Powai. In spite of acute pain and sleepless nights, he hardly missed classes of the ongoing course. His reply to the regular emails was never delayed. No visitors were left without having his darshan, even if it was for few minutes, and no administrative or organizational matter was put on hold. I was also staying in the ashram during that period, and many a times I witnessed that despite regular dose of antibiotic medicines and painful exercise, that high sometimes even under high blood pressure, he forced himself to his regular routine with a captivating smile and gleeful disposition. Once, when he was not getting sleep, he took out a joke book and started reading the jokes one after another and was laughing for a long time. After a while, he said with a chuckle, They say humor is the best medicine, but I still cannot sleep and after this medicine. He was smiling while saying so, but we were sad within, looking at his pain. Swami Tejomayananda represented the true nature of a saint, characterized by the unique ability to remain unruffled by any crisis that may surround him from time to time. Simple living and high thinking. It is mentioned in the Padma Purana. किमत्र चित्रं यत्सन्तः परानुग्रह तत्परः न हि स्वदेहशीतया जायन्ते चन्दनद्रुमः. The whole life of a saint is intent on taking away the sorrows of others, just as the sandalwood tree emanates coolness not for itself but for others. In spite of being the head of Chinmay Mission worldwide, Pujya Guruji has an unassuming simplicity and childlike innocence that defies all logic and makes him lovable to all. Though he has to keep in touch with several people, mission members, old devotees of Gurudev, Swamis and Brahmacharis, the young ones in Chik and Balvihar. Yet our Guruji does not possess a personal mobile phone or email address. This does not hinder his efficient handling of all the onerous responsibilities that his high position entails. The hallmark of this rare master is that he keeps in touch with the common people and their smallest problems, even when he is placed so high in the world and is so deeply immersed in his divine thoughts. He recognizes and rewards the contribution of the volunteers behind the scenes and helpers who make the wheels move. I have seen him literally running to lend a helping hand on an ailing person, hugging an aged one, inspiring a neglected soul, feeling intensely for someone in distress, and comforting people through his visits or words or phone calls. Pujya Guruji has earned a place in many hearts which have now become moving shrines carrying Guruji's Prema Murti. Learn to serve and obey your Guru with devotion and humility. Then you can master any spiritual sadhana leading you to the realization of the truth. Humility and self discipline. Near his hometown in Indore, Pujya Guruji was once invited by Sri A.S. Kaitwade for Bhiksha. Ananta for Bhiksha. Suddenly, as Guruji entered the house, his eyes spotted a familiar face and he exclaimed with joy, Guruji, and then prostrated to him. We were all taken aback to see Swami Tejomayananda offering prostrations to an ordinary person. Upon inquiring, we came to know that the person was a priest and Guruji had known him for many years. Puja Guruji is the embodiment of humility. He never starts his talks, even if they are in foreign countries, without prostrations at the altar of the Lord or to the photograph of Puja Gurudev. He never puts himself on a high pedestal, even though the world adores him. He never accepts Pada Puja, though many people cherish a deep desire to worship his feet. He has set the most exemplary standard for all acharyas of Chinmay Mission as to how one should remain firm in their sadhana and keep their gaze ever fixed on the feet of Pujya Gurudev. He has taught us all to remain focused on the purification of the mind and service to the Guru. He has demonstrated how to take praise and insults from the world and yet love and forgive all. He has shown how to walk the path of success in this world with one's feet firmly on the ground. He has never allowed his high status to cloud his discrimination and dispassion even one bit. Now, not many people know what Guruji does not start. Not many people know that Guruji does not start his day without his regular pujas and japa. He has proved that sadhana can be done even while working in the outer world and interacting with hundreds of people. Guruji is Nishtha Punja, a treasure of firm abundance in many things. He has Guru Nishtha, Shastra Nishtha, Japa Nishtha, Puja Nishtha, Seva Nishtha, Brahmacharya Nishtha, Sannyasa Nishtha, and all these culminating in his Atma Nishtha, abundance in the self. Puja Gurudev was so fond of Guruji's talks that when someone glorified the lectures of a renowned speaker on Ramayana, Gurudev quipped, "He cannot speak better than our Swami Tejomayananda." Very few know that this head of the mission has done a lot of austerity in his earlier days in his house, in the ashram, and also as a brahmachari and Swami. After coming to Mumbai to study Vedanta, he remained there for more than 5 years without visiting his home even once. During his first posting in Bhopal, once he had to cycle down to the yajna venue and it rained heavily on the way. He got drenched in the rain but sat upon the dais in that condition and spoke on meditation effortlessly. While translating Puja Gurudev's Holy Gita into Hindi, Guruji, known then as Brahmachari Vivek Chaitanya, worked for 8 to 10 hours at a stretch daily, completing the voluminous work in just 6 months. While he was posted in Kanpur, he used to visit Allahabad, Lucknow, and Rewa frequently, and his mode of travel was the inhospitable state transport buses. His personal discipline is such that even today he leaves no mail unanswered, attends to all the phone calls, and yet makes a point to sleep on time and get up by 4 a.m. every morning. When Guruji, a newly initiated brahmachari then, was asked to talk for the first time at Bhopal, the listeners were quite apprehensive, seeing this 26-year-old young man, monk, in yellow robes, short in height, simple in looks, but extremely deep in expression. None would have imagined then that a time would come when this low profile, unassuming and humble sadhu would be heading Chinmay mission worldwide and molding many seekers into dynamic sannyasis of the mission. Mahatmas alone can contribute to the integration of the society by the example of their lives and their dynamic existence, said Swami Tejomayananda. A purifying presence. Our most beloved Guruji personified the poignant meaning of the below verse from the Skanda Purana. Kulam pavitram janani कृतार्था वसुन्धरा भाग्यवती च तेन अबाह्यमार्गे सुखसिन्धुमग्नं लग्नं परे ब्रह्मणि यस्य चेतः. When a person's mind is absorbed in the absolute Brahman, the infinite consciousness, the ocean of bliss, the entire clan of such a Mahatma is purified His mother finds fulfillment, and the whole earth becomes meritorious because of his existence. Humanity, humanity is fortunate to experience a saintliness of Pujya Guruji, to bathe in his nectarine discourses and learn from him the subtle art of devoted that living a devoted and dedicated life. His life is a glowing example of how one can become a very powerful instrument of the Lord simply by holding on to the feet of the Guru. Swami Tejomayananda's whole life is like a scripture, and his words are like potent mantras. Those who read and reflect continuously on this moving embodiment of devotion would definitely be purified. To this silently dynamic sage of our times, we all offer our humble prostrations. The real Ishtam is the Guru. The real Ishtam in the Guru is the self of the Guru. The sparkle of joy in his eyes, the aura of cheer around him, the scent of purity that he spreads in his life. Swami Tejomayananda. Bandau Guru Pada Panja Krupa Sindhu Nararupa. I bow down to the lotus feet of the Sri Guru, who is the ocean of grace, and Lord Vishnu in human form. Section 2. His Prabhav, the glorious vision and mission of Swami Tejomayananda, Divinity Personified, 2nd edition, 2025. Pujya Guruji, embodiment of Guru Seva. Swami Chidananda blesses Pujya Guruji at the hospital in San Jose in July 1993. Sri Swami Shivananda says, "He who serves the Guru serves the whole world. Serve your Guru humbly, willingly, unquestioningly, unassumingly, ungrudgingly, untiringly, and lovingly. The more energy you spend in serving your Guru, the more the divine energy will flow into you. Pujya Guruji is the epitome of this Guru Seva. After taking on the mantle as global head of Chinmay Mission worldwide, Pujya Guruji remained steadfast as always in his conviction, राम से है बड़ा राम का नाम. The glory of Sri Ram's name is greater than Lord Ram himself. It was in 1993 that Guruji had visited Prayagraj, having just become the global head after Pujya Gurudev's Mahasamadhi. I clearly remember that during his first meeting with the devotees and committee members there, Guruji said something very poignant and deep. Speaking in Hindi, he said, "अभी तक आप सभी ने गुरुदेव के रूप की महिमा देखी थी, अब आप उनके नाम की महिमा देखेंगे." That is, until now we had been seeing the glory of the form of Gurudev, but now we shall see the glory of his name. And true enough, over the years that followed, Guruji not only upheld Gurudev's vision for Chinmay Mission, but also spread the glory of the mission manifold across the world and in many dimensions. He thus established the principle that Guru Seva is indeed the greatest pilgrimage. As the Guru Gita says, गुरु सेवा गया प्रोक्ता देहस्य दक्षयो वटः तत्पादं विष्णुपादं स्यात् तत्र दत्तमनन्तकम्. The service of the Guru is akin to the pilgrimage of Bodha Gaya, and the body of the Guru is indeed the Akshaya tree, banyan tree. His feet are the feet of Lord Vishnu himself, and anything offered at the holy feet of the Guru takes the form of the infinite. Having emptied himself completely, Guruji just become the carrier and caretaker of Puja Gurudev's glorious Sankalpa. Sage Valmiki and Goswami Tulsidas have narrated how magnificent and prosperous Bharatavarsha was during Sri Bharata's tenure of rule in Ayodhya while Sri Ram was in exile. In the similar way, Chinmaya Mission also assumed its cosmic form as Gurudev became one with it, and at its helm was Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda. Be it the global expansion through many new ashrams, inauguration of new temples, building international schools, or undertaking massive global projects of profound impact, Guruji kept the Chinmay flag flying high. The greatest service unto the Guru is to materialize the vision which the Guru holds in his heart. Puja Guruji truly concretized many of Gurudev's thoughts and projects which were in his hand during his mortal life. Even though there remain no duties whatsoever for me to perform in this world, still there certainly does remain something to be done to constantly serve with devotion the feet of my teacher, by whose guidance alone I have gained this wisdom. Swami Tejomayananda. Preserving his legacy, fulfilling his dreams, Guruji's gifts to Gurudev. Chinmay International Residential School. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda was a visionary who planted many seeds for the revival of Sanatan Dharma, two of which Swami Tejomayananda lovingly nurtured to fruition almost immediately after he took over the reins as the mission's global head. One of them was the formation of CIRS Chinmay International Residential School, a world-class, modern, yet spiritually rooted residential school in Coimbatore. This was a long envisioned dream of Gurudev to catch them young. After Gurudev's Mahasamadhi, Swami Tejomayananda drove this project with unfailing vigor, and by June 6, 1996, CIRS became a reality. At its grand inauguration, the Guru Bhai of Puja Gurudev, Swami Chidananda of Divine Life Society, and Swami Tejomayananda declared the school officially open, with the first batch of 96 students and a bold motto of Jnanam Seva Cha Kaushalam, to gain knowledge in order to render service to the world with efficiency. Echoing his Guru's educational vision, Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda says about the purpose of CIRS. At yet another level, the purpose of education is to groom students in noble cultural values. In the absence of this culture, knowledge itself and material prosperity can become a weapon of destruction instead of a means of blessing to humanity. Still higher than this aim is to create a thirst for greater knowledge in students so that they discover the mysterious mysteries of nature and the world around them. Once, while visiting a school, when the teachers there requested Puja Guruji to speak on education, he said, if you really ask me what is in my heart, then real education is if you, the teachers, can instill the love of God in the children, in the child. Chinmay International Foundation. The Chinmay International Foundation CIF at Adi Shankar Nilayam was the swan song gift of Swami Tejomayananda to Hindu Dharma. Swami Tejomayananda fulfilled Puja Gurudev's vision of restoring and preserving the most sacred maternal home of Sri Adi Shankara, which was on the brink of being forgotten in the unwritten pages of history. With his administrative acumen and unmatched dynamism, Puja Guruji focused on his energies on CIF, all his energies on CIF, facilitating its growth into a vibrant center of Sanskrit learning and Indic research located in the serene village of Veliyanad, Kerala. Adi Shankar Nilayam now hosts scholars from around the world in pursuit of ancient wisdom. Swami Tejomayananda oversaw the restoration of this sacred ancestral abode of Bhagavan Adi Shankara to ensure that future generations inherit this glorious past and feel inspired by the life and works of Sanatan Dharma's greatest spiritual revolutionary, who was none other than Lord Shiva himself. Soon, CIF gained recognition as a renowned knowledge center, offering home study courses of the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Vedic mathematics, among several other subjects. Undoubtedly, Swami Tejomayananda has materialized Puja Gurudev's vision of building a bridge between science and spirituality, Pandit and public. With the growing impact of the magnificent university, Chinmay Vishwavidyapit, CVV, we can feel immensely proud of the invaluable contribution of Chinmay Mission to the world of value based and scripturally rooted academia and research. When asked in an interview about what changes he would like to bring to the mission's administrative and field areas, having become the global head, Swami Tejomayananda responded, Puja Gurudev has already established the mission well, leaving only some projects like the Chinmay International Residential School and the Vedantic research work at Chinmay International Foundation. So, at present, my work is to consolidate both these plans, and then as projects come up, I will work for those. In his message to CIRS, Guruji says, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda had laid the foundation of this school in Coimbatore To realize his cherished dream is now the sacred duty of us all. Indeed, both CIRS and CIF stand today as living legacies of Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's dreams, fulfilled through Guruji's dedicated and devoted leadership. A narrow vision is divisive, a broad vision is expansive, but a divine vision is all inclusive. Swami Tejomayananda. Chinmay Vibhuti, manifestation of Swami Tejomayananda's Guru Bhakti. Time rolls over everyone and everything. Soon enough, we would witness a time when those blessed generations who knew, served, lived with, or simply met Puja Gurudev would no longer be amongst us, but the inspiring works and glorious life of this great master had to be not just told but also depicted for future generations to come. With his brilliant foresight, Swami Tejomayananda had already seen through these eventualities and was architecting a living shrine of Gurudev in his own mind. He alone could foresee such a sprawling abode for Gurudev, which would become synonymous with everything that he represented: divinity, magnificence, grace, and knowledge. Chinmay Vibhuti became the manifestation of Guruji's divine vision. This dream project of his immortalized the gratitude of all Chinmay devotees into Puja Gurudev for all. His inspiring work, love, dedication, and selfless service unto humanity. Chinmay Vibhuti is thus a condensed expression of our Kritanyata to him. The beauty of Puja Guruji's Sankalpa was that in his resolve, everyone's emotions and feelings were wrapped together. Our heads and hearts bow down in awe unto Swami Tejomayananda, who envisioned this entire project and aptly dedicated it to Puja Gurudev as a manifestation of his Vibhuti, divine grandeur. For generations to come, Chinmay Vibhuti will stand tall and narrate the inspiring tales of Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, the seeds of which were sown in the valleys of the Sahyadri hills by the cosmic mind of our Puja Guruji. In reality, it is the depth of devotion for Puja Gurudev in the heart of Guruji, which expressed as the expanse of Chinmay Vibhuti. This is the very high of a person's fortune, as the Ramcharitmanas says, Je Guru Pada Ambuja Anuragi Te Lokam Vedahu Bada Bhagi. Those who are deeply devoted to the lotus feet of the Guru are greatly fortunate in the realm of the world and of the Vedas. Swami Tejomayananda blesses South Africa. Over the years, numerous mission centers across the world have been graced with Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayanandaji's visits, either for Jnana Yajna or for inaugurating their new ashrams, temples, and local projects. South Africa is one of those blessed countries where Puja Guruji sprinkled his nectar of love, winning the hearts of everyone through his disarming smile and profound discourses. He made a total of 3 visits to South Africa ever since my posting there in June 2006. His first visit was in 2007, then in 2012, and finally in 2016. These were the golden opportunities for the devotees of South Africa and for me to make unforgettable personal memories with Guruji which would last a lifetime. When Guruji came to Durban in November 2012 for the inauguration of the renewed Chinmay Shivam temple, he was immensely delighted to see thousands of devotees thronging the ashram for the consecration ceremony. My greatest fulfillment was seeing Guruji's joy and satisfaction at the work being done across our multiple new centers in Durban, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. A few days before his arrival in Durban, Guruji wrote to me in an email dated 24th October 2012. On the Vijayadashmi day, you have truly gained a victory. I am very pleased and I am equally eagerly looking forward to being with you and our devoted members to see the completion of the inauguration of the Lord's temple. Pujya Guruji personified the nature of Bhagavan Ram, for whom Goswami Tulsidas says, रहति न प्रभु चित चूक किए की करत सुरति सय बारहिए की. The Lord never holds the lapses of a devotee in his mind, but remembers the devotee's good spirit 100 times. In another email dated 8th November 2012, after his visit had completed, Pujya Guruji compassionately wrote to all our mission members, my recent 10 days visit to South Africa, in particular Johannesburg and Durban, was the most beautiful, delightful and successful in every respect. I feel very proud of you. I know that there is a great potential in our mission growth in the country. May Lord Shiva and Pujya Gurudev bless one and all with spiritual growth, happiness and spirit of service. As part of his final overseas travels, before he withdrew to the shores of Bharat, Pujya Guruji came to Durban for the last time in September 2016. It was the best gift for South Africa as Guruji conducted the most memorable talks on Shiva Manas Puja for the resident students of South Africa, Africa's 2 years Vedanta course 2015 to 17. The students had never imagined that their good fortune could pull the greatest master of Vedanta all the way to Durban to tutor them so graciously. As the course Acharya, my best privilege was to witness Guruji teaching all of us. To this day, every devotee and brahmachari in South Africa feels nostalgic about the visits made by Guruji. One of the rare qualities of Pujya Guruji is his ability to come down to the level of a devotee, to make him or her feel loved and cared for without leaving his own pristine experience of the highest. Knowledge gained through Swadhyay must be made clear and firm in our minds through vichar, contemplation, brought into our achar, character, and spread out through prachar, dissemination. Swami Tejomayananda. Mahatma with a Midas touch. Even a kataksha or sidelong glance of the Guru can liberate a disciple. How then do you describe a Mahatma whose magical gaze or comforting touch can alleviate all sorrows? It is the enormous power of his inner purity that any sankalpa taken by Puja Guruji has not only fructified but also flourished immensely, leading the organization for a glorious 24 years. This humble giant, Swami Tejomayananda, has achieved milestones that have profoundly shaped Chinmay Mission's growth and reach. Under Guruji's stewardship, the mission has truly blossomed into a global movement for universal welfare. Today, there are over 300 centers in more than 25 countries, which is far more in number from the time Guruji took charge as the global head. Traveling across the world, Guruji has conducted over 400 Jnana Yajnas and an astounding number of spiritual camps and lecture series, spreading the message of Vedanta far and wide. It is not that difficult to grow the altitude of action as it is challenging to maintain the highest altitude even in the smallest actions. Swami Tejomayananda's work was more evident because of the highest bhav he carried behind all actions. It is this surrendered attitude which was rewarded through the awards offered to Guruji. The world took note of Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda's selfless service and profound impact when the Hinduism Today magazine honored him with the Hindu of the Year 2005 award in the year 2005, recognizing how faithfully he fulfilled the vision of his Guru, spread the mission's teachings, and inspired a dynamic new generation of monks under the Chinmay movement. Many years ago, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda was conferred the same award, Hindu of the Year 1992. And now, the same recognition for his beloved disciple could not have been more fulfilling. At a ceremony in California, Guruji received this prestigious award to a standing ovation from over 700 attendees. The award opaque lauded him for fulfilling the vision of his Guru, Swami Chinmayananda, guiding the Chinmay Mission's exemplary teaching programs, inspiring the expansion of the monastic order, and teaching hundreds of thousands to be better Hindus. In 2015-16, the global Chinmay family celebrated the birth centenary of Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda with the theme "Unto Him Our Best." Guruji led these worldwide centenary celebrations by example, offering his best unto his Guru. Under his able guidance, Chinmay Mission devotees around the world engaged in acts of service, spiritual study, and new initiatives as a centennial offering. The landmark release of a commemorative coin celebrating Puja Gurudev by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, was an unforgettable highlight. It was the same year in 2016 when the Government of India conferred upon Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda, the prestigious Padma Bhushan, one of the nation's highest civilian honors, for his distinguished contribution to the spiritual upliftment of the masses. Delighted with this auspicious announcement, Chinmay Mission members and spiritual seekers everywhere celebrated this fitting recognition of Guruji's lifetime of dedication and selfless service. The award was presented to Puja Guruji by the then President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, at the Padma ceremony in Rashtrapati Bhavan on 12th April 2016, coinciding with Puja Gurudev's birth centenary celebrations. Guruji receiving the national honor of Padma Bhushan was a proud and emotional moment for all of us in the mission. Devotees witnessed this moment as a tribute to the entire Guru Parampara. The glory of Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda and Shri Swami Tapovan Maharaj shone through the humble and dedicated life of their beloved disciple Swami Tejomayananda. The unmatched modesty of our Guruji was evident in his public message, where he wrote, "In all humility, I dedicate this Padma Bhushan award to my beloved mother, respected father, revered Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, and the most worshipful God, with whose grace and blessings alone this recognition has been conferred on me." He thanked all well-wishers for their love and characteristically turned the spotlight away from himself. Those who witnessed the ceremony recall Guruji's unassuming smile as he received the medal and award from the President. Later, upon reaching the Chinmay Mission Delhi Ashram at Lodi Road, Guruji humbly placed the Padma Bhushan medal at Puja Gurudev's altar, and as someone poignantly summarized, often an award highlights worldly achievements of an individual. However, when Padma Bhushan adorns Puja Guruji, an entire spiritual mission is elevated. Indeed, the Padma Bhushan was not the end of a journey, but a shining milestone in an eternal legacy of vision and devotion, and with it, the motto of "Unto Him our best" was truly recognized. The single quality of a genuinely spiritual soul is humility, because he realizes that the real doer of all things is God, and he is merely an instrument. Swami Tejomayananda. त्यागे नैके अमृतत्व मानसिको, immortality through renunciation. From August 1993 until January 2017, Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda magnificently spearheaded the global movement of Chinmay Mission in the most spectacular manner. He acted more as a pratinidhi representative of Puja Gurudev and a sevaka of the people rather than the head of an organization. I have seen in many of the trust and committee meetings that Guruji would readily give consent to the wishes of the trustees and mission members as before as they were aligned to Puja Gurudev's vision. It was in the year 2000 when I was posted in Indore that the discussion of the Chinmay Sharanam Ashram was taking place. During the meeting, I proposed to Guruji to have a small temple of Lord Krishna in the ashram premises. Hearing my emotional plea, Guruji expressed his complete reluctance to have such a temple and said, वहाँ पूजा कौन करेगा? पुजारी नहीं मिलते. No need for such an exclusive temple. Who would conduct the rituals there? Because good priests are difficult to find. I agreed with a second thought to Guruji's wish, but deep in my heart I felt that this temple would enhance the divinity of the ashram. And so I was slightly sad about it. To my complete surprise, a few days after Guruji's yajna in Indore had concluded, I received a letter from Guruji from Hyderabad in which he wrote, "Go ahead with the temple plans. You can construct the temple." This is where I could not fathom the expanse of Guruji's heart and his identification with the wish of a common acharya or member for advancing the mission. Puja Guruji's personality is like a vast tree whose branches have spread far and wide across the world, but he remains ever rooted in 3G, as he would say, God, Guru, and grace. It is this deep devotion which made Guruji detached even to his esteemed position. The greatness of any person is known by his ability to renounce the worldly powers and possessions. I vividly remember an incident from the year 1997 in Jaipur. I was traveling in a car with Guruji and he was seated in the front. At one moment, Guruji turned behind towards me with a poignant look and said very firmly, "तुम देखना, एक दिन हम सब छोड़ देंगे. Keep watching, one day I will leave everything," in reference to his status as the head of the mission. It was this hidden renunciation within Guruji, which manifested as his withdrawal from the position of the global head without an iota of attachment to the authority associated with it. Any power is meant to empower the people around and to offer it to the all-powerful God. Thus, Guruji empowered the devotees of Chinmay Mission and worshipped the Lord through his power. On 19th January 2017, Pujya Guruji graciously handed over the mantle of Mukhya Swami, global head, to Pujya Swami Swarupananda. In his handover address, Guruji's eyes moistened as he sweetly remembered how much love and respect he had received from everyone in the mission over the years. It was at this moment that Pujya Swami Swarupananda very aptly said, "To say that Guruji has stepped down, please do not ever repeat these words again. If anything we can only say that Guruji has stepped up." Guruji's renunciation conveyed a clear message to all the trustees, committee members, swamis, and brahmacharis that we should not hold on to any position for long, and we must groom the next generation for the service of Pujya Gurudev. Further, a precise learning was given that as age advances, a seeker should evolve from an active life to a meditative life. In one stroke of an email, Guruji resigned from all trust positions in the mission and appointed Pujya Swami Swarupananda for the same positions. Dispassion is the most beautiful ornament of a sannyasi. In spite of being amidst glitter and glory, name and fame, power and position, luxury and lucre, the life of Pujya Guruji demonstrates that a true saint would never allow any of these material pursuits to enter his mind. Just like the detachment of a lotus leaf in water, Swami Tejomayananda never left his throne of Jnana and Vairagya. His life is a vivid example for all seekers on how one should work in the world without becoming worldly. Puja Gurudev would often say, be in the world but not of the world. Guruji was the manifestation of this statement. Whenever people speak of spiritual life, they entertain ideas of renunciation, dispassion, sacrifice, and sannyas. No growth or accomplishment is possible without renunciation or sacrifice. Swami Tejomayananda. Igniting new flames of occur as the Acharya of Sandipani. Swami Tejomayananda is not just a name, he is a living institution. In him, one can see the embodiment of knowledge and love wrapped in human form. Among the many roles and personalities that Guruji fulfills with saintly elegance, the one role that he exemplifies most effortlessly is that of a teacher. On many occasions, Pujya Guruji has wittingly quipped, अगर हम संन्यास नहीं लेते तो किसी स्कूल में टीचर होते. Had I not taken sannyas, I would be a teacher in some school. One can vividly see how passionate a teacher Guruji is. His deeply profound words of wisdom, uttered in the most graceful manner, make Guruji a master par excellence. One of Swami Tejomayananda's greatest contribution has been to shape the next generation of spiritual teachers, brahmacharyas and swamis, who are the vibhutis of Chinmay Gurudev, Puja Gurudev. It is a matter of great pride and awe that Guruji has conducted 5 Vedanta courses at Sandipani Sadhanalaya till date, the maximum taken by any Acharya of the mission. The Advaita Vedanta course is the most significant and vital program of Chinmay mission because these courses not only sustain the vision of Gurudev through the Swamis and Brahmacharis, but also have also rekindled the Gurukul system in Bharat. The role of an Acharya is difficult and tedious because for more than 2 years, not only does he have to teach all the Vedantic texts without compromise, along with Shankara Bhashya, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, Prakran Granthas, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, and Vedic chanting, but at the same time, the bigger challenge of the Acharya is to handle the raw and delicate minds of the less prepared students. I have heard that in some course wherein Guruji was the Acharya, all the students went to Gurudev to offer their prostrations to him in the early morning. Gurudev asked them their names, but most of them were silent because Guruji had told them to remain quiet during the morning hours. Later, Guruji reprimanded them, saying that one should observe silence only to come closer to God, but when God Himself appears, one should answer and not remain silent. What I have observed is that Guruji instills the glory of Pujya Gurudev in the hearts of new students so that the foundation of their spiritual life is based on Guru Bhakti and Ishwar Bhakti and not merely on extroverted activities. However big, lofty and towering the castle of our actions and achievements may be, unless it stands on the firm edifice of sacrifice, surrender and service, it will fall like a pack of cards. Today, mission centers which have grown, excelled and become a lighthouse for the community are able to do so only because of such acharyas who were trained by the institution of Sandipani Sadhanalaya and of course with the assistance of the mission members. The essence and soul of any good ashram of Chinmay mission are the saints who have been tutored and divinized through the Vedanta courses. It is due to these reasons that Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda gives additional attention and utmost importance to the grooming of Swamis and Brahmacharis in the mission, Chinmay mission. Spark of the divine making our lives Tejomaya. Swami Tejomayananda enlivening Shastra, Sanskrit and Sangeet. The Ramcharitmanas says, Sumati bhumi khala hridaya kadhu Veda purana udadhi ghana sadhu Varashavira sujasa vadvari Madhura manohara mangalakari. Balakanda 35.2. As this Chaupai says, the scriptures are like the ocean, vast, deep, unfathomable, and impossible to cross. But the saints are like clouds who carry the water of this very distant ocean and shower it at our doorsteps. Similarly, the most intricate and difficult concepts of the Shastras have been brought to us by Puja Guruji in the simplest, sweetest, and most sublime manner. If Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda was a master orator, Guruji has been a master composer. Over the past 3 decades, all the innumerable hymns, stotras of Guruji have adorned Chinmay. He weaves pure magic through his distinguished choice of Sanskrit vocabulary, accurately placing appropriate meters to rhyme and infusing melodious ragas to soothe every listener. During his childhood days, Swami Tejomayananda honed his linguistic skills owing to the encouragement of his beloved father. During a Pitru Puja function in Singapore, Guruji recounted his childhood. My father often said that in future English will be the only international language, but you must learn English and you must also learn Sanskrit. Although we were living in a small town, he had that vision and farsightedness. Surprisingly, the same advice was taught to me by our Puja Gurudev also. So this importance of Sanskrit is because all our great literature is written in this ancient and beautiful language. Because of my father's pressure, I pursued learning Sanskrit, and although like every other child, I initially refused to continue, but eventually when I went to Sandipani, I remembered what he had said and continued my learning of Sanskrit, realizing how impactful it truly was. Later, especially during the years of the pandemic, Guruji spent much of his time in solitude, authoring divine poetry and compositions, cutting across age groups and genres. Guruji's compositions span through a remarkable range of Sanskrit hymns, Hindi devotional songs, and several insightful books. This creative flair springs from his devotional heart. As Hinduism today described, he sings well, writes poetry in Sanskrit, composes music, and plays the harmonium. He is even a great cook. Swami Tejomayananda has authored several deeply insightful and profound texts in his 4 decades of teaching, such as Dhyana Swarupam, Manashodhanam, Bhakti Sudha, Jivan Sutrani, Jnanasar, Bodhasar, and many more. Each of these is written in elegant yet simple Sanskrit verses born from his contemplations, and he himself has provided lucid explanations on them. Guruji's works are an accessible, personal, and touching resource of guidance for all seekers at every stage of their spiritual journey. Once Puja Gurudev arrived at the Powai ashram after one of his foreign tours. Reading one of Guruji's compositions, Gurudev expressed to him in a letter that he had come back tired from his travels, but reading Guruji's composition he felt refreshed. Beyond Sanskrit compositions, Guruji has penned several books in English infused with his exceptional wisdom and wit. Books like Right Thinking, Meditation, Vision, The Game of Life, and many more have gained widespread popularity. In particular, Hindu culture and tradition has also been inducted in the curriculum of some American high schools appreciated for its clear and balanced music. A talented singer and musician since his youth, Guruji recognized the universal appeal of music in spiritual upliftment. He has composed numerous bhajans and kirtans in Hindi, Sanskrit, and Marathi that are now sung in Chinmay mission centers worldwide. Guruji's most popular compositions are the birthday and wedding anniversary songs in Sanskrit, which have been sung by renowned singers and shared widely on social media, thus becoming the default Indian greeting message throughout the world. As one of the great saints of Vrindavan, Puja Swami Abhedananda would say, जब प्रेम जिह्वा पर आता है तो वही संगीत कहलाता है. When love comes upon the tongue, it is known as music. Hence, it is the melted heart of Guruji which expresses as sweet, simple and sonorous bhajans or music. Guruji's most soul-stirring bhajan is undoubtedly Gurudev Tava Mahaniya Kripam, a hymn of gratitude to Puja Gurudev. Often one finds tears rolling down the cheeks as Guruji's devoted heart permeates through his voice and transmits purity into the hearts of listeners. As Guruji once said, if your heart is full, then you don't even feel hungry. His compositions fill our heart with love for God, leaving little room for any hunger of the material world. While hymns and bhajans have enriched devotees by whetting their listening appetite, Guruji did not leave any stone unturned, even in the visual realm of our spiritual experience. Under the visionary guidance of Guruji, a unique and most authentic depiction of stories from Upanishads and Indian history was conceptualized and produced as a 52-episode tele-serial called Upanishad Ganga, telecasted on the Prime National TV channel Doordarshan. This series was the product of Guruji's vision to bring the profound message of the Upanishads into the living rooms of the common masses. Puja Guruji's divine compositions, books, satsangs, and bhajans have truly made our lives Tejomaya, filled with light of the divine, whether thought, whether through a verse that illuminates the intellect or a bhajan that melts the heart. Bring your knowledge to light to brighten up your life and to lighten your burden. Swami Tejomayananda. Sri Ramcharitmanas, Guruji's spiritual magnum opus. Sri Ramcharitmanas is a rare text which has been sung, adored, loved, and worshipped by all sects of Hindu Dharma. Almost every Hindu saint has been enlightened and guided by Goswami Tulsidas' divine exposition. Swami Tejomayananda is synonymous with the principles enshrined in the Tulsi Ramayana. Very often, Puja Guruji has been conducting Jnana Yajnas on select portions of the Ramcharitmanas and has even composed a succinct version called Manas Bhakti Sutra. In 2019, Guruji conducted a 27-day immersive retreat at Chinmay Vibhuti to expound in depth on the Ramcharitmanas. Over these 27 days, Guruji delivered 104 talks of hours of talks in Hindi, elucidating the key verses of this great text, interspersed with melodious renditions of the Chaupais and emotionally stirring narrations of the episodes from Manas Discourses series on their television channel every day at 6 am Indian Standard Time, right before the morning arati of Sri Ram Lala at the Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya. For Chinmay Mission, this is a crowning moment and a befitting start of the 75th year of the Chinmay movement. As the wind passing through a fragrant flower exudes the same fragrance around, similarly, Puja Guruji has taken the fragrance of Bhagavatam, Bhagavan Sri Ram's unparalleled glories far and wide through this telecast. Sri Ram's greatness lies in his ability to raise the meanest creature to become as great as himself. In every situation, he revealed his Chidananda nature. His divinity was translated into everyday living, the ideal in daily practical reality. Swami Tejomayananda. 75th year of the greatest Chinmay torchbearer. To each one of us, God gives a life in which some portions are governed by prarabdha or fate, while some parts remain like plain land. Most of us convert that land only into a jungle of attachment and aversion, ego and pride, family and friends. Thus, we misuse our freedom and create more bondage in life. On the other hand, saints alone transform that land into a garden of godly values. Amidst that garden of their life, they build the temple of sacrifice, surrender, and service. And in the sanctum of that temple, they consecrate the highest knowledge of the self, continuously performing Abhisheka with Ishvara Chintanam, contemplation of God, leading to liberation. Swami Tejomayananda's presence of 75 years on this earth echoes these very ideals. The moon-like countenance of Sudhakar, Swami Tejomayananda's Purvashrama name, received the nectarine words of the scriptures Sudha. Then it became the relentless flow of the Ganga, Surasari. purifying the world around for the last 75 years. As Goswami Tulsidas says, Sudha Sudha Kara Surasari Sadhu. Saints are those whose speech is like nectar, whose presence is like the moon, and whose moment is like the Ganges. Destiny could not have scripted it better. In 2025, Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda is now completing his 75 year of blessing us with his presence, while the organization is also ushered into its 75th year since inception. The golden life of Guruji has become one with the golden jubilee year of Chinmay mission. Puja Guruji's unique contribution has been to complement the work of Puja Gurudev. If Swami Chinmayananda lit the bright flame of jnana knowledge in countless hearts, Swami Tejomayananda nourished and strengthened it with the oil of bhakti, devotion, and the gentle breeze of tyaga, sacrifice, and seva, service. The result of this is the great tree of Chinmay mission, spreading all around with over 300 branches, giving the sweet fruits of satsang, devotion, knowledge, and self-sacrifice at countless centers across the globe. This mammoth tree of Chinmay mission, under whose shade many seekers find rest and solace, is firm and erect because it is nourished and nurtured by the waters of renunciation. Its roots are anchored in the austerity of Sri Swami Tapovan Maharaj and Sri Swami Shivananda. All these years, Pujya Guruji has not only taught us to be surrendered to the mission, but he has also demonstrated through his life how we should remain firm and steadfast in our commitment to Pujya Gurudev. It is not only by money, power, buildings, or ashrams that Chinmay mission is flourishing. Rather, it is by the magnanimous and loving nature of Pujya Gurudev, expressing through all Swamis and Brahmacharis that Chinmay mission, the Kenopanishad, Hainam Sarvani Bhutani Samvanchanti. Towards him who is the knower of the self, everyone approaches with desire and love. In these 75 years, we have seen Pujya Guruji as dedicated teacher, melodious singer, scholarly composer, loving master, and so many other facets which drench our lives with devotion. Through his unassuming and unapproachable disposition, Guruji has ruled the hearts of one and all, embodying the words of Goswami Tulsidas. सबके प्रिय सबके हितकारी दुख सुख सरिस प्रशंसागारी. Sri Ram should dwell in the hearts of all those who are dear and friendly to all, for whom sorrow and joy, praise and insult are all one and the same. At Guruji's most heart-touching handover ceremony, Pujya Swami Swarupananda very poignantly said for Guruji, "We were in love with him because we knew that other than Gurudev in his Guruji's life, there is no he separate from him." While Pujya Gurudev टेबल नाही सगळ्यांच्या जवळ पुस्तक आहे ना म्हणून मी ते तसे ठेवले म्हटलं आज असं करून बघू हां मी हे जरा टाकत आहे ह्याच्यावर गुरुजींचं पुस्तक एकदम येते एक 10 मिनटात. While Puja Gurudev is akin to Lord Shiva, Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayananda has been like the selfless Mother Ganga who flows down from the matted locks of Lord Shiva to purify and quench the thirst of us seekers. His life alone is his teaching. His expressions are his students. His songs are his love. His smile is his compassion. His every breath is of devotion. His heart is his discourses. His vision is of realization, and his passion is his Guru's Seva. And above all, his presence is the presence of godliness. To this greatest torchbearer of Chinmay mission, we offer our infinite prostrations. Timeline at a glance, tracing the sacred life of Swami Tejomayananda. 30th June 1950, birth of Sudhakar in Khargone, MP. 1st July 1956, Sudhakar enters primary school. 1st May 1960, Sudhakar's Upanayan Sanskar. 15th May 1969, completion of BSc at Khargone. 1st July 1969, entry into Bhopal's College for MSc. 15th April 8th October 1969, attending Sudhakar's talks for the first time. 20th February 1970, Sudhakar enters Sandipani. 1st September 1972, the Vedanta course begins. 1st April 1975, initiation as Brahmachari Vivek Chaitanya. 15th April 1975, posting in MP and UP. 1st April 1981, Acharya of Sandipani Sadhana, Himalaya. 21st October 1983, Sannyas Diksha as Swami Tejomayananda. 1st November 1983, Acharya of Sandipani Sadhanalaya, first course. 21st April 1986, first ever foreign tour to Bahrain and USA. 1st October 1989, posted as Acharya at Sandipani West. 22nd August 1993, appointed as head of Chinmay mission. 6th June 1996, inauguration of CIRS. 25th December 2000, Chinmay Vishwa Sammelan in Mumbai. 11th June 2005, Guruji receives Hindu of the Year 2005 award. 23rd December 2005, beginning of Chinmay Vibhuti Phase 1. 30th June 2010, Guruji's 16th birthday. 12th April 2016, Guruji receives the Padma Bhushan. 19th January 2017, Puja Guruji renounces the position of global head. 30th June 2025, Guruji's 75th birthday. About the author, Swami Abhedananda is an illustrious Acharya of the worldwide Chinmay movement. Since his childhood days, he has been blessed through his close association with Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda and Guruji Swami Tejomayananda. Formally initiated into the mission fold by Swami Tejomayananda in 1995, Swami Abhedananda is a versatile speaker with excellent command over English, Hindi and Sanskrit. His adeptness in Vedanta and Bhakti texts alike and universal appeal in his explanations makes him a captivating source of ancient wisdom for seekers from all walks of life, owing to his deep understanding of the scriptures and his ability to communicate their highest essence in a practical and personalized manner. Swami Abhedananda has earned equal popularity among audience in India and across the world. Through this book, Swami Abhedananda has viewed the divine magnificence of Swami Tejomayananda's exemplary life in a concise yet thought-provoking manner, interspersed with personal experiences of devotees and reminiscences of his own. Swami Abhedananda's other literary contributions include Crescendo Peaks, You Can, and several insightful books such as Lifestyle for Meditation, Finding Shiva, Call of the Divine Mother, What, Why, and How for a Meaningful Living, Mindful Living, and Ramarajya, Coronating Divinity Within, among others. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om.